Hey guys, it's Libby and readathon season is upon us. This month we're having both the summer Cramathon and the Booktubeathon, so I thought I would combine my TBRs for the two of those into one video. The Cramathon is run by Witty from Witty Novels and Sarah from Sarah Without an H. Fun fact, when I went to search for her on YouTube, even though her username is Sarah Without an H, I typed Sarah with an H and then the words without an H. And it said, "Do you mean Sarah, S-A-R-A, without an H?" And I said, yes, I did mean that. Cramathon is running from this Saturday to Monday, and the point of it is to read as many little things as possible to get your Goodreads goal up, which I need because I'm currently 22 books behind on my goal of 100 books this year. But I count short stories, and I've been saving up a bunch of short stories for this Cramathon, so hopefully I can get through like 10 things. There are challenges. I mostly ignored the challenges. If you're curious, this year they are read a book under 200 pages, which I'm definitely gonna get. Read a graphic novel, which I am planning to do. Read a book you never finished. I just am not even gonna try with this one because if I stop reading a book, I do so with distinct intent. I guess I could finish the 5th season, although that would be like a lot for Cramathon. I'm on page 137 and there are 468 pages of, relatively dense text. So this is not a like speed through it in an afternoon sort of book. And also, I think I need more time away from this because I had a lot of problems with it, and if I force myself to read it, I will definitely hate it. Maybe I'll just read like 150 pages of this per year. That sounds like something I can do. Then there's read a novella or short story. I'm going to be reading almost exclusively short stories. 5 is read a book written in verse or poetry. I'm not planning to do that this year. I've done it before. I don't have a lot of books in verse. And then 6 is read 5 books total, which I definitely think I can do. So the one real physical book that I am reading is The Thrilling Adventures of Lovelace and Babbage, the mostly true story of the first computer by Sydney Padua. I heard about this from Elizabeth on Books and Pieces. She really liked it. It sounds very fun. It's a black and white graphic novel with an interesting caricature-y cartoon style, with also footnotes and endnotes. It's about Ada Lovelace, daughter of Lord Byron and Charles Babbage, who in the 1840s and 50s invented computer code, basically. It also looks very nice under the dust jacket. Then the short stories that I'd like to read, I'm just going to read them off my Goodreads list, are just Little Knife, I think it's someone's name, and The Too Clever Fox by Leigh Bardugo, which are Ravkan fairy tales, which are related to her Grisha series. A bunch of Edgar Allan Poe short stories. I feel that I need to read this in order to be a well-rounded human being. I have already read The Telltale Heart and The Cask of Amontillado, but that was quite a while, so I think those could stand up to a reread. And then I'd like to read The Mask of the Red Death, The Fall of the House of Usher, The Murders in the Rue Morgue, those. And then there are several of the Tor.com short stories that other people in Booktube SFF have been talking about and I'd like to get to. They are The Horrid Glory of Its Wings by Elizabeth Bear, Brimstone and Marmalade by Erin Corwin, Men Who Wish to Drown by Elizabeth Fama, Some Gods of El Paso by Maria Devana Headley, The Museum and the Music Box by Noah Keller, The Pauper Prince and the Eucalyptus Gin by Usman T. Malik, and 2 more. Waters of Versailles by Kelly Robson and Schrodinger's Gun by Ray Wood. So that's 15 short stories plus Lovelace and Babbage. I'm not totally sure how feasible it is to do this in 3 days, since you can have 10-page short stories and 60-page short stories, and I haven't gone through to check how long each of these short stories is. I'm also planning to listen to at least some of the Edgar Allan Poe works on LibriVox. I'll leave links to his LibriVox page below. But I will be vlogging during the readathon, so you will be able to follow all of my adventures and pacing, or lack thereof. And then the Booktubeathon is a week-long readathon that's running from the 18th to the 24th. That's a Monday to a Sunday. That is the week leading up to costume college for me, so I have some sewing to do and then some packing to do before I go to a massive convention about wearing silly clothes. If you want to hear more about that, I do have a channel about historical costuming. So, starting with the final challenge, that is read 7 books. I'm not gonna do that. If I have 7 short stories left over from the Cramathon, I might read those then, but I'm not gonna try to read 7, like, 300-page affairs. But I am planning to get to all of the other challenges by just combining all of them into 2 books. So my first book, I wasn't planning to read it this year, but then the stars just aligned, and since it's hitting so many of the challenges, I just had to. That's Rebecca. I'm gonna reread Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier for the first time since starting my booktube channel. I will try not to feels all over the place, but no promises. So this is hitting challenge number 1, which is read a book with yellow on the cover. The text is yellow. Also, the back has a broad yellow stripe. It is by one of my favorite authors, Daphne du Maurier. It is older than me, and there is a film of it. There's one film and one 2-part miniseries. The film is very old. I've seen both of them. And it stars Laurence Olivier and Joan Fontaine. And the newer, like 1990s, I think, BBC Masterpiece Theatre, BBC, I think, adaptation is starring Charles Dance, aka Tywin Lannister, and Amelia Fox. So I might watch one of those, since you are, I think, supposed to watch the movie. We'll see how time goes. And then the remaining challenges are read a book only after dark and read a book that you discovered through Booktube. And for that, I am doing Radiance by Catherine M. Valente. I had discovered Catherine M. Valente herself on my own, and so I knew that Radiance existed, but it wasn't like super high on my get-to list of Catherine M. Valente books until I saw Rachel's review of it on her channel, Kalanati. And it's set in an alternate deco-punk past, future, not sure, where all of the planets of the solar system are colonized, and so it seems like it'd be a good one to read after dark, looking up at the stars, maybe the planet. Sometimes you can see Venus, although there's a lot of trees around my house, so maybe we'll take a trip to the mountains. So this is my Booktubeathon plan. It's not as ambitious as I'm sure many people's are. However, many people are not trying to sew a 1912 skirt from an original pattern with no instructions. So it all works out. I will also, of course, be making daily videos for the Booktubeathon, as that's kind of the point. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I will see you soon with those Cramathon vlogs.